I loved her. With a kind of love that wasn't loud, wasn't explosive, but steady, deep, and terrifyingly permanent. She entered my life like a slow sunrise, not sudden, not overwhelming, but warm. Safe. Real, and I knew, from the very beginning, that she would change me, and she did. That we met in the most unromantic way possible, a university orientation program. A hot day, crowded hall, boring speeches. She sat beside me because it was the only empty seat. She didn't even look at me at first, but something about her presence made everything else quiet. She didn't need to speak. She just existed. And that was enough. I stole glances. She caught me. She smiled, half shy, half amused. And I, without meaning to, smiled back. That's where it started. Her name was Manur, and for the next 4 years, she became my compass. My comfort zone. My chaos and calm. My everything. We never labeled it. At least, not right away. We didn't rush. We just built coffee after lectures. Late night walks on campus. Silent support before every exam. We learned each other. The way you learn a language, slowly, painfully, lovingly. She knew when I was anxious before I said a word. I knew she bit her lip when nervous. She hated tea, but drank it because I liked it. I hated rain, but learned to stand in it because she danced like a child every time the sky opened up. We were different. But in a way that made sense only to us, but there was always something she carried, something behind her eyes, a weight that didn't belong to a girl her age, her family. Traditional. Strict. Religious. Controlling. Her father, a man who believed love before marriage was filth. Her mother, the quiet kind of broken who passed her fears to her children. Her brothers, guards more than siblings. And Manur? She was the bird they locked in a beautiful golden cage. She never said it directly. But I knew. I saw it in the way she avoided phone calls around me. In the way she flinched when a certain ringtone played. In the way she always looked over her shoulder when we were out in public. She wasn't afraid of me. She was afraid of being found, of being loved by the wrong person in her family's eyes, and that wrong person was me. I wasn't from their world. I was middle class. My parents were simple people, loving, but not powerful. I didn't come from land, or title, or influence. I had no big surname. No foreign degree. No proposal material, checklist, but I loved her. With every atom of my being, and she loved me. I saw it every time she laughed with her head tilted back. Every time she held my hand under the table like it was the only thing keeping her grounded. But love, in her world, was never enough. We graduated. Life started moving faster. I got a job. She did too, part-time. Secretly. She was buying time, and I was building a future. We talked about getting engaged. I wanted to speak to her parents. She begged me not to. Said, they'll ruin everything. Let me handle it. So I waited. Patiently. Hopefully. We had plans, move to another city. Start small. Live humbly. Be happy. I believed in us. I had to. She was my whole world. Then came the silence. At first, it was a missed call. Then 2. Then a day without a message. Then 3. I told myself she was busy. Overwhelmed, but something inside me knew. This wasn't stress. This was goodbye. In slow motion. Then I got the message. I can't fight them anymore. I'm sorry. That was it. 3 lines. No call. No tears. No voice. Just silence. I broke, not loudly. Not dramatically, but in the quietest way. The kind where your chest physically hurts. Where sleep disappears. Where food becomes tasteless. Where nothing matters anymore. I still texted her. Wrote long messages. Tried to make her laugh. Begged. Pleaded. Promised and no reply. Then, one day, a mutual friend told me she was engaged. Arranged. The man, her father's choice. From a good family. Financially stable. Obedient. Safe, and just like that. I became a memory she buried to survive, but I couldn't hate her. Even when she said nothing. Even when she disappeared without a fight, because I knew. She didn't choose him. She chose survival, she chose peace over war. Silence over screams. Obedience over chaos, and I chose to love her, even in her absence. Time passed. I moved cities. Focused on work. Pretended to be okay, but I wasn't. Every place reminded me of her. Every small habit. Every song. Every smelled. I deleted her number, then memorized it. Deleted our pictures, then printed them again. I moved on, but I carried her everywhere that I dated. Tried to fall again. But love isn't a button you press. Anne Monur. She was carved into my soul. How do you replace someone who never really left? Years passed, and then I saw her again. It was random. A shopping mall. I was with my sister. She was with her daughter. Yes. A little girl, she had become a mother. She had a life. A family, but her eyes still held that same sadness. She saw me. And froze. We didn't speak immediately. Just stared. Like ghosts. Then she smiled. A small, broken smile. And walked toward me. We talked, polite. Careful. Quiet. She told me her husband worked abroad. That he was a good man. That life was fine, but I knew her too well. I saw it in her voice. In the way she blinked too often when I asked about happiness. She wasn't okay. And neither was I. She asked me, do you ever think about us? I smiled. Said, every day. Her eyes welled up. But she didn't cry, just said, me too. And that moment was everything. It was closure. It was pain. It was peace. It was heartbreak all over again. She left that day holding her child's hand. And I watched the woman I loved, the mother she had become, walk away from me one last time, not because she wanted to, but because she had to. Some love stories don't end with hate. They end with silence. With quiet pain. With respect for what could have been, and sadness for what never was. Monur chose her family. I chose to love her anyway, and that was the most painful kind of love there is. Not loud. Not angry. Just unfinished.